Hi everyone, I am your Muse Tracy, and I am your favorite manifestation coach. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling, definitely to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I do offer one-on-one coaching, and you can find the links for that down below in the description box. All right, so today this video is about how to change beliefs, and I wanted to create this video because there have been lots of questions in the comments about this, asking me to talk about this. And so I'm sort of making this video as an answer to those questions rather than leaving it in the comments, because it's a little bit too much to leave in the comment section. So that's why I'm making this video. And so the short answer about how to change your beliefs, I believe, really is through coaching. It's through, even if it's not with a coach, you need to sort of have some input from an outside source, and ideally someone who has either changed their own beliefs or at the very minimum has different beliefs than you. Okay? So I'm going to talk about this in much more detail, obviously, in this video. And I first want to say, I am not in any way saying that you cannot change your beliefs without coaching. You can. It might be more challenging, it might take longer, and you might not get to really deep core beliefs. Again, I will explain why that is a little bit later. So I'm not saying that you have to do coaching. I am saying, though, that you will be able to do it much more efficiently and much more thoroughly in coaching. Okay? So with that said, let me tell you why, and I'm going to give you an analogy to tell you why. And as with most analogies, this is not a perfect analogy, okay? It's a loose analogy, and I want you to hopefully get a sense of why it is that it's easier to change your beliefs with a coach, with someone else, ideally with a coach, but maybe with just another person. So the analogy is your beliefs are sort of like a program that runs your software, so to speak, or the program is the software, right? So the analogy is, if you have a computer and you install some, let's say you're a computer programmer and you install some programming, some software on the computer. Now the computer doesn't know if there's a flaw in that software, in that programming. The computer just runs the software, and it cannot necessarily see for itself where there is a flaw in the programming, okay? And now this is where the analogy comes in. Now, obviously, I know that you are a human, you're not a computer. You have definitely more abilities than a computer has to recognize things and to see different things that, yes, a computer cannot see. Now, where the analogy is more accurate, with, even though you are a human, you have programming that is running, okay? It's like a software program that was installed at a young age. You aren't necessarily aware that that programming is running the show. This is what I was talking about in my How You Create on Autopilot video that I did not that recently. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go and watch that video. It's explaining how your programming creates on autopilot. And so that programming that's running, even as a human with all your extra abilities, extra to a computer, all of your abilities as a human, you still may not be able to see when something is a program and how it's creating your reality automatically. Now, that leads me to talk about levels of belief. There are different levels of beliefs, okay? There's some beliefs that you have that right away you know, oh, yep, that's just a belief. And you maybe can change it just as easily as you can identify that it's just a belief you have, right? Then there's a level deeper than that, and there are different levels, maybe hundreds of levels, right? But at the deepest core level, let's say a belief that you've inherited from a very, very young age, that you can't even necessarily identify is a belief, you see it as truth, either about yourself or about the world or about money. You see it as truth. And you probably have other beliefs that are built from that belief, from that core belief, right? You have other beliefs that stem from that. Again, maybe about you, about the world, about money, about anything, the subject at hand. And not only do you have other layers of beliefs built upon that core belief, but you have attributes of your psyche that are protecting that core belief, okay? And this is where it gets really tricky, because you'll have stories and ideas and concepts that you think are, again, of your choosing, but really some of those are not of your choosing. They have been created by you to defend this core belief, okay? And again, it takes an outside perspective to show you that, oh no, that's also just a belief, and no, that's also just a belief, and, kind of point out and show you how some things, some ideas you have are built on protecting that core belief. Now, why would you want to protect that core belief? Well, at some point, maybe this core belief was taken on by you as a form of self-protection. You may have learned that you need to believe these certain things about yourself to protect yourself. In other words, for you to survive, right? So you believe these certain things about yourself, about the world, about money, about people around you in order to stay safe, okay? And so that's a very core belief that you probably will have ideas and concepts built around in order to protect that core belief, okay? So now we're getting to the sort of heart about what it really takes to find all of your beliefs, right? So not the beliefs on the surface that you can very easily and readily identify. Yes, that's a belief. Yes, I can change that. I'll go to work and I'll start to do the process of changing that. But then there are levels deeper that, may take a little bit more digging, may take a little bit more of a outside perspective, right? These are some of the reasons why it's not just like, okay, go through your history, identify what your beliefs are, and then go through the process of changing your belief, right? So if it was that easy, then it would be able to just be something that I could talk about in a video, and then you would be off and you would be able to do it. It usually is a little bit deeper than that when you're going about the business of changing really, really core beliefs. So it's tremendously helpful, and also tremendously helpful if you really want to revolutionize your belief system, right? Not just change the ones on the surface, but really revolutionize your programming that is running the show, right? So again, back to the computer analogy, the computer can't really see that there's a flaw, first of all, and then also the computer can't necessarily see that there's another option, right? That there is some other option for it to run, right? Because again, the computer just knows the programming. And again, I know you're not a computer. I know you're a human with much more capacity for reason, capacity for observation, capacity for thinking, right? The computer just runs the program. You're a human, you have the ability to think and decide and change things. But most likely, again, I'm not saying it's completely impossible, but most likely you will it will be so helpful for you to have an outside perspective, understand when what you're saying or even what you have experienced is just a result of your thoughts, or sorry, just a result of your beliefs. Beliefs that you probably learned from a very young age, beliefs that you probably picked up without really deciding to, meaning you took on beliefs that you didn't necessarily choose, but nonetheless, you took them on. And then those beliefs that you take on at a young age, because you're the creator of your reality, because you're the only one creating, beliefs you took on at a young age, you started to create patterns in your life with these beliefs. And then once you started to create circumstances that were based on this belief, what happened is you actually solidified the belief because you created the experience. You didn't know you created the experience, but you had the experience, and then you said, "Ooh, see, I knew that that's how it works." And so now the belief is reinforced. And once the belief is reinforced by your experiences, through your experiences, you start to believe it more. And again, it becomes more of a core belief, and probably, most likely, what's happening too along the way as you're living your life, creating from programming that you don't know is there, that you didn't choose, that you don't actually want, you are building other beliefs that stem from that. And then again, you're building beliefs that stem from that because you had the experience and you said, see, I knew that was true. And also, this is true from that too. Now, once you have that new belief, of course, you're going to create and encounter circumstances that reinforce it. And so it's like a snowball effect. And so again, that's why there's layers to your belief system, because they start with that core belief and then you prove it to yourself through experiences and you go, see, I knew that was true. And then you build another layer. And in coaching, we need to go through all the layers and come back to the core belief, right? And so this is not the most fun work, right? I mean, it can be painful. It can be scary. It can be uncomfortable. It can be hard to even see at times. Again, why a coach is necessary. It can be difficult to look at. It can be difficult to admit that that's what you believe. That's what you've been creating. So it takes some amount of hand holding and walking through, and also allowing you to be easy on yourself, to be gentle with yourself, to be forgiving with yourself, that this isn't your fault that you believed this at a young age. It's never about blame, you guys. This whole thing about being a conscious creator and recognize that everything showing up in your reality is your creation. This is not about blame at all, because honestly, that blame is not going to help you in any way. Blame, shame, right? Guilt, regret, none of that is going to help you in changing beliefs and changing your reality and changing what you can now align yourself with and create. I say create in quotations because you're not ever creating anything. Creation is finished. And I know a lot of you are asking for more videos about that, so it's in the works. Stay tuned. But you're not ever creating anything. Creation is finished. You are, with your thoughts, in every moment, selecting the portion of reality that you choose to experience next. And again, as I was explaining in that video, You're either doing it unconsciously, you're allowing your programming to choose it, or you're doing it consciously because you've changed your programming to be what you prefer it to be. And now as you are moving through your life and encountering circumstances, every moment is an opportunity for you to consciously choose. And when you don't have that unwanted, someone else's, programming that you don't even want, that you never even chose to have, when you don't have all that noise going on, every moment is an opportunity for you to create you, create who you now are, create who you choose to be. Every moment is how you react to things, how you respond to your circumstances. Every moment is an opportunity of creating who you now are, and what you now choose to experience going forward. And again, when you get your belief system cleaned up, spick and span, it's all has now been deliberately chosen by you. Creating what you want in every area of your life is easy. It's easy because you don't have negative programming, negative stories that come up right away and tell you what things mean that isn't of your choosing. I hope you're following what I'm saying. That negative programming, the unwanted programming, that again is probably from someone else, probably something that you didn't choose, probably something you absorbed at a very young age that is not of your choosing. If that's still software running on your hard drive, so to speak, when circumstances and events come up, you will notice the immediate story that's right there explaining the circumstances is negative. Oh, they must be doing this to me. They must be choosing something else. They must want something else. They must be against me. They must be opposing me. They must be in opposition to me. That's the programming that's right there. And when you work through all the programming and you change it, that initial knee-jerk, autopilot, not so great response isn't there. It's not there. You don't have to try and flip it. You don't have to try and rewrite it. You don't have to try to work against yourself because you've done the work to change the software that's running on your hard drive, right? Kind of ties in with the computer analogy that I was giving you about the beliefs in the beginning of this one. So that's really the truth of it, you guys. And if I resonate with you as a coach, then come into coaching, and this is exactly what you will learn how to do. This is what you will do, and then you'll really see how easy manifestation is, how easy it is to apply these techniques that I know you've all been learning about. And this is really the thing. So it takes a little bit, the first thing you do when you learn about manifesting is probably not sign up for some kind of coaching like this. Probably not. I mean, maybe you are. Maybe you know exactly that this is what you need and this is the path. Beautiful, brilliant if that's what you do. But probably it goes more like this. You learn about manifesting, you find different sources, and you learn, oh, okay, I need to choose my thoughts. Okay, I need a mental diet. I need to learn how to use my imagination. Okay, I need to have better inner conversations. You probably learn about those things, and you probably set off and you start to do those things. Now, depending on your resistance, depending on your attachment to the old story, depending on how much has gone on with the situation that you want to change, you may start to see some results by applying these techniques that you learned about manifesting. You may, again, depending on your level of resistance, but you may find that the results you get, they're either not there at all or they're minuscule. They're like a little dribble here and there with the results that you get. And maybe you start to learn, well, okay, yeah, it's all me, so I'm changing my thoughts, I'm doing the techniques, I'm flipping my thoughts, I'm really, making myself be in the state. I'm committed to be in the state. So in other words, you're also learning that it's all you. This is another layer as you learn about manifesting, another level deeper that you go when you start to really learn, oh, it's all me. Okay, that's another level. Now, even when you learn that level, you again apply the techniques. Again, the results that you're getting are maybe not there at all, and then you feel frustrated, feel like you're doing something wrong, or you're getting some, but it's not the full picture. What's going on? What's going on is we've missed a step. We've missed the step of changing you. Changing your programming, changing what you think about yourself, changing how you really prioritize yourself, changing how much you love yourself truly and accept yourself. All of that piece that is so important, because why? Why is that important? Reality is your mirror. Reality is your mirror. So if you are still harboring resentment about yourself, thinking that you're not good, not accepting yourself, how much of what you've been affirming for do you actually think your reality can show you, since it's your mirror? Right? It's something to think about. So this is the point when you get to this point of the realization of realizing, yes, I'm doing all the techniques, but actually, if I'm being honest, the way I still feel about myself, the programming that still pops up automatically isn't great. The level of acceptance I have for myself, I know isn't great. When you really start to look at this stuff, that's when you come and do the kind of work that I'm talking about, okay? So it's important to know where you are too, to know like what you need to do or what's relevant for you. If what I'm talking about is totally not resonating, it's probably because, you're at a different stage with what you're learning and what you're understanding and what you're internalizing, okay? So my intention is that this answers your question about how to change beliefs. You understand sort of what it takes and why it takes that, right? It doesn't take that just because I say it does. It takes that, needing an outside perspective, needing someone who's been through this, needing someone with different beliefs. At the very minimum, you understand why, okay? All right, you guys, so leave me a comment down below. Yeah, keep telling me what kind of videos you would like to see. And if it resonates with me, I will absolutely do a video on it for you guys. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.